ripping the streets of Chicago. Hello there everyone and welcome to Opafett Gaming. You are driving shotgun with the Opafett in a little Volkswagen Golf GTI. We are driving the streets of Chicago at the Lakeshore Point track. We're doing 5 laps. We're driving during the day with clear skies, they say. It's hard to see. And we started 11th of 22. And we dropped to 14th, which, you know, that's normal, 15th. In the first lap, we always try to survey the track a little bit, see how wild or chaotic the cars are going to drive. And some of these guys, they kind of bounce around a little bit. They're quite, what can you say? They're quite aggressive, and they'll bump and rub you like that. That's a little one. They're usually a little bit more excitable than that. So we're going to try and just stick with the main pack, let the cars thin out a little bit so that there's spaces in between them to put your car into when you pass somebody, and slowly move ahead in the first lap, just taking a general look at how the race is going to go. Now this is already, I believe, the end of the first lap here, so like I said, they're not going to take long. You know, it's going to go by pretty quick. Now we've moved up to 10th, so we still got 9 cars in front of us. And I really like this track. I like driving on the streets of Chicago. There's a few different types of track layouts for a race through Chicago, and they're very enjoyable, especially these little rally cars. I like the Peugeots and the Renaults and the Volkswagen and the Audis that have these little rally cars. Because they really do go like you wouldn't believe, and they're fantastic in the handling department. You just got to watch out for the other guys, you know, because in this game, Grid Legends, that we're racing in, they do tend to get a little bit more excitable than in some other races where cars will wipe out and then take you out in the process. So you do have to keep an eye out for that at the same time that you're trying to pass some of these guys. So you can see them, they'll bounce around a little bit, but that's okay. It's all part of the game. You know, it's a very enjoyable race. It gives you a lot of different things to look at, and when you get to the straight stretch like this, you pick off a few and get a little bit closer to the front of the pack. Now we've only got 6 cars in front of us, and with less cars in front, there's less problems to worry about. You know, there's more room on the track. The cars aren't so close together that you can't get around them. And we just generally try to drive a nice clean race. Whoa, looks like he lost a piece of equipment on his vehicle. Well, he took himself out for us, you know, which is good for us, not so great for him, because his race is obviously done. And we're down to only 4 cars left in front of us, with us being almost, well, we're getting up close to the end of the 3rd lap. So the race is progressing fairly quickly. I love the graphics in this particular race. They look absolutely fantastic as you're driving along underneath the subway tracks here in Chicago, or train tracks, I'm not sure what they call them. And we get back to the straight section by the end of the lap finish, and we can pass another car. Now we've only got 2 left in front of us, with 2 laps left to go. Well, okay, 3. He's trying to make a push for it, but the Opafett's not going to let him go. So we're just going to keep ripping along, put him behind us, and now we're going to take this guy on too, so we only got 1 left in front of us. So you do have to remember to keep an eye on our rearview mirror. I'm probably one of the worst for doing that. I keep mentioning it and hoping that it will rewire my brain so that I can remember to look in the rearview mirror. It's more for me than for the people watching the video, because every once in a while I forget to keep an eye on it when I get really engrossed in the race and people come zipping by me. So, you know, we don't want to let that happen, because we definitely don't want to get somebody ripping by you in the final lap, the last part of the lap. So we're going to keep an eye on that. And this guy in front of us, he was swerving back and forth a little bit there, and I always get a little nervous when they do that because you never know how erratic they're going to get. So we had the straight section, we ripped by him, and now we got nobody in front of us. We can use the full track, the full width of the track to our advantage and kick up the speed just a little bit so we can create a little bit of a buffer between us and that wobbly little car we just passed. You know, we're 1.5, 2 second lead, which is good enough if you can keep a nice clean rip going. And it does look like we're going to be able to do that. I really enjoyed this race. I enjoy driving these little cars, like I said, and hopefully we'll get some more like that. I hope you enjoyed it too, and have a great rest of your day. You've been racing in the cockpit with Yopafet.